Hello dear students, welcome to our new lecture within the Introduction to Marketing Communication course. Today we will have lecture 8 titled How is the practice of advertising changing? Let's see how the consumers are in charge now. Jim Stingle, Procter & Gamble's former global marketing officer, said, "The days of pounding people with images, shoving them down their eyeballs are over." What do you mean by this? You cannot expect the people to be astonished anymore about what you're representing in your campaigns. People are aware completely that you're trying to influence their minds, their hearts, influence their purchase preferences. So never underestimate how they are aware of your trials. The days of pounding people with images are over. You cannot manipulate people anymore, thinking that you can influence their minds, their preferences, ultimately with some advertisement messages only. You need to understand carefully and study carefully your consumers in order to give them what they really want and to meet their needs. We faced consumer-generated ads. It was a very important phase in the development of advertising practices. How consumers started themselves generating advertisements, messages to their beloved brands or to their favorite brands, creating valuable brand publicity. The case of Frito-Lay's Doritos crashed the Super Bowl commercials all through around 10 years, from 2009 to 2019. You can see all through the Doritos commercials how consumers are actually, Doritos consumers of course, are actually being so close to try to promote the brand themselves by generating their own ads of their favorite brand. We can say that consumers are taking control of media and marketing through the web and the social media. How many times have you faced an article, a picture, a comment through Facebook, Twitter, or whatever social platform, offending a certain ad or defending certain ad also? Both sides, someone defending an ad and the other one is offending it. So how many times have you faced this case? How many times the consumers managed or succeeded in banning a certain campaign? It happens a lot. Consumers are the most powerful link in the consumption process nowadays. You can watch all these links of the Doritos commercial campaigns all through the Super Bowl program, all through the years, starting from 2009, as I told you, till 2019. Enjoy these links. Try to see carefully the difference between the consumer-generated commercials and the brand itself generated commercials. These are some images out of these commercials. So, talking about how consumers took over, or consumers are being the most powerful link right now. Digital media, of course, is processing to take the lead over traditional media, but still television is a major player. We cannot neglect or ignore the importance of television as an advertising medium. Agencies must take a stronger leadership role in the development of brand strategy through these new changes in the media world. A question for you: what is effective ad? Simply, effective ads deliver the message the advertiser intended and consumers respond to as the advertiser hoped they would. This is what we call an effective ad. When you would like to describe advertisement as effective, so it should achieve the objectives the advertiser intended with a relation with in relation to the consumer response, intended consumer response the advertiser is hoping they would get. A matter of practice, I would like you to go through all the next following links for the awards websites. Industry awards show the best in advertising and marketing communication. For example, the Effie Awards is the only global award that honors achievement in meeting and exceeding marketing communications objectives with a focus on effectiveness. Effie Awards is giving awards to campaigns which succeeded to achieve the marketing communication goals or objectives. With other words, we can say they give awards to effective campaigns. On the other side, the Clio Award is based on creativity. Whenever you find that a campaign was awarded the Clio Award, then you can make sure that this campaign is stamped as a very creative campaign. As a class, I would like you to check all these links out and understand more details about the awards in the advertising field. The Effie, the Clio Awards, the Canada's Casey Award, Cannes Lions Award, Silver Anvil Award. All these awards you should go through its website to understand more about why they are giving or awarding advertisements in what particular category. Right now we reach the point to communicate or to argue about the IMC first principle. You remember maybe within the second lecture I told you that the first principle of IMC, everything communicates. You should communicate everything, every aspect of your brand with your target audience. These aspects of any brand, if they were conflicting with each other, you wouldn't reach effectiveness. You wouldn't reach the integrity of the marketing communication practices. So please, I do emphasize on the first principle of IMC to be understood carefully through the next following slides. This principle applies to all marketing communication. Communications efforts are planned for maximum synergy. You are combining all aspects of your brand inside the advertising message in order to achieve your goals, in order to position your brand in a very distinctive place inside the minds of your consumers and the hearts of your consumers in a very significant way. So, after this introductory part, what is marketing? How can we define marketing? Much of a product's value is created by marketing decisions. Marketing decisions could determine the product design, the product ease of use, the product distribution, the product pricing, also the product marketing communications. Why marketing is very important function in our life? Why we refer to marketing as a one-on-one function? Marketing is the way a product is designed, tested, produced, branded, priced, distributed, and promoted. Marketing is designed to build brand and customer relationships. These customer relationships should first generate sales and profit, or not first, either generate sales and profits. This is for the profit organizations, or pull volunteers, ideas adapters, and donations. This would be for the non-profit organization. So it's working both ways for profit and non-profit organizations. How to build brands and how to build customer relationships. Right now we're coming to the important definition of marketing. The American Marketing Association 2007 released the definition of marketing as follows. Marketing is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. So, it's the process or the activity or the set of institutions doing what? Creating, communicating, delivering, exchanging offering. For what objective? To give value for customers, clients, partners, and the society at large. Marketing also focuses on managing and creating positive customer relationships. These customer relationships, the positive customer relationships, creates value to the brand. How can we explain this? Simply by understanding how each brand is representing a certain value for its customers or its target audience. The marketing process itself or the marketing activity itself, it's the thing giving the brand this value to its customers or its target audience. So marketing should focus on how to manage and create these positive customer relationships. Also, a brand stakeholders are all individuals and groups who have a stake in the success of the brand. Don't think that the brand owner only is the one managing the brand success in the market. No, the customers themselves, the loyal customers, the loyal consumers are responsible also, the same responsibility like the brand owner himself to make the brand succeed in the market. This is what we call the stakeholders of the brand. Traditionally speaking, the objective of most marketing programs has been to sell products. These products could be goods, services, or ideas. This is done by matching a product's availability to the consumer's need, desire, or demand. For example, going through your customers' needs. What do they need? They need shelter, they need food, they need to drink, and so on. If you manage to make your brand fulfill these needs, so you have succeeded in your marketing activities. The consumer desires and demands are the ones who's differentiating between different brands inside the specialized category, or the one category. Consumers are hungry. This is a need, but I would like to fulfill this need differently. Someone is trying to fulfill the need of food by eating a hamburger. Another one is trying to fulfill the need for food by eating healthy food, or by being vegetarian. So it's your responsibility as a marketing practitioner to understand carefully your consumers' needs and also their desires and demands in order to reach the position you are aiming for inside your consumers' heads and minds and hearts actually. What is a product category? It's the classification to which the product is assigned. When we say Apple, you remember the campaign for Apple Macintosh 1984? Apple is a computer. It belongs to the computer category. Burger King brand belongs to the fast food category. So the product category is the classification to which the product is assigned. Let's have a matter of practice right now. We have a very interesting case. It's the we case. We as a provider for games, for youth, for families, for the whole society. This is the link for the campaign which we're going to explain and experience through the next following slides. It's titled We Would Like to Play. Let's now try to experience a foundation for thinking about solving problems for clients. The situation was a company like Nintendo needs effective marketing. You remember the abbreviation marketing, the marketing communication? A company like Nintendo needs effective marketing to successfully maintain its product in the market despite its competitors. We have here the Nintendo story, which demonstrates how marketing communications can help accomplish marketing objectives. Let's see the situation. Nintendo has other competitors. These competitors were Microsoft's popular Xbox 360 and the Sony's PlayStation 3 at that time. So the Nintendo Wii or the gadget Wii is competing with Microsoft Xbox and Sony PlayStation 3. They would like to maintain their product in the market despite all the successful marketing activities of their competitors. As super products can't succeed unless providing customers value, the marketing communication itself creates much of this value. We understand carefully how the Wii product managed to penetrate the market, although they have a very vicious and a very strong competitors such as Xbox and PlayStation. So the situation for this campaign, we would like to play campaign, was Nintendo sales were going down so fast that one consultant advised the agency not to work for it. You remember what we had in the previous lecture, talking about how you should understand carefully everything about your client's brand, and to generate a confident relationship between you and the client, you as an agency and the client. So at that point in Nintendo, the agency, Nintendo asked to do its campaign, decided or discovered that the Nintendo sales were going down so fast and the situation was not positive at all. Instead, Leo Burnett agency took the challenge. They started to research the market. They started to analyze the competitors for Wii, the competitors' audience. Sony's and Microsoft consumers are usually males, avid gamers. They are usually males and they are using games intensely. They are showing great enthusiasm for difficult and violent games. So, instead of going through the same market for their competitors, instead of competing with their competitors on the same market, which were the males and the avid gamers, they decided to go for the video games non-users. Can you imagine that? They decided to target the non-gamers, the ones who are not playing games on the over the new gadgets for games. They decided to go for moms, families, even nursing homes for all these. These are all target audience, or are becoming a target audience for the new Nintendo campaign. These are not anti-games audience, as they are playing crosswords, they are playing puzzles, they are playing Sudoku and so on, and other games. They just have a negative perception towards video games, either its difficulty or violence included. You can imagine your grandmother, your grandfather, or even your father choosing not to go for these games because of its difficulty, but they don't have anything against games as itself. So the big idea was, why not inviting people to participate in playing, experiencing, touching the new gadget, experiencing the new game, rather than talking about the power of the processor or the pixel count like its competitors. Sony and Microsoft Xbox usually argue the components, argue the power of the processor of its gadgets. Nintendo agency decided to talk about how easy it is to be a gamer for the Wii game, how it's easy or fun to be played among family members. So this was the big idea. We would like to play, and of course the manipulating with the words or the characters WII instead of WE. So the big idea was, why not inviting people to participate, to touch, to play, to experience this new game. So this was the planning and the situation analysis for this campaign. Coming to the execution, they would like to prove that Wii isn't just for kids. Nintendo crafted a different kind of marketing communication to fulfill this objective. Its multi-million-dollar campaign let potential consumers touch, see, experience the new game, featuring parties of multi-generational families, heavy gamers, modern moms playing with this game, using online social networks communications even before launching. Important venue was teaching people how to use it through in-person demonstrations, either in stores or in events such as trade shows. So this was the plan to execute this campaign. Lessons and results from this campaign. Lesson number 1. The creative thinking about those people whom the ad aimed to convince to become Wii consumers. It was very creative of the agency executives to go to the non-gamers, to go to the non-users of the game, instead of going to the avid gamers or taking a part of the market share of their competitors. Instead, they went to a whole sector that's not practicing games at all. So it was very creative thinking, and this was lesson number 1, how to apply the creative thinking in your planning and executing campaigns. Lesson number 2, let potential consumers touch, see and experience the new game. The result coming out of this campaign, they doubled the short-term goal. They achieved around 600,000 unit sales, outselling Sony's by more than 50% during that period. We achieved more than 50% of Sony's sales, also beating the midterm goal of gaining third of Sony's and Microsoft market share. Although they went or they headed or targeted another sector of the audience, or the target audience, which were non-users for the games, they managed to take a whole sector of the Sony's and Microsoft market share also. They overtopped sales of both competitors. And finally, they achieved the long-term goal of changing how people experience video games. So, on the 3 terms, the short, the mid, and the long-term goal, they achieved successfully their objectives. It's a very, very important situation to understand carefully starting or how to start your campaign with a perfect situation analysis, how to develop your objectives starting from the starting point, from the right starting point of understanding your brand facilities and your brand target audience. Marketing helps create demand for a product, leading to an exchange. This exchange, we can express it by saying that trading something of value, like money, for a desired product, or either goods or services. So the concept of exchange, it's a very important concept through marketing. We had the definition of marketing, we had the first principle of IMC, the first principle of integrated marketing communication. And right now, coming out of this a matter of practice, we would like to play campaign, we can conclude the concept of exchange, the importance of the concept of the exchange within the marketing activities. Demand drives the exchange. How can we explain that? Of course, we are saying that we're exchanging a matter of value, like money, with a desired product. This would be driven by the demand, the desires of the target audience themselves. As a class, consider the Wii launch described in this chapter. How did Nintendo manipulate demand in this case? I will tell you the answer. The answer simply by controlling the number of games being produced in the market. This scarcity created even more demand and more publicity through the word of mouth, debating with the continuous and successful marketing communication. So, after managing to penetrate a whole new market, which was the non-gamers market, or the game non-users target audience, simply they controlled the number of games being produced in the market, creating more demand, more publicity about the game itself through a word of mouth. It was a very important successful marketing communication activity. In addition to economic exchange, exchanging money for a brand or a product, marketing also facilitates communication exchange, as marketing communication provide both information and the opportunity for customer company interaction. How can we achieve this customer company interaction? Through lots of contact points with the customer. In the Wii case, marketers streamed lots of comments chatting upon the product among target audience through social media like Facebook, like Twitter, like MySpace application, and so on. So the marketers of the Wii campaign themselves, they created this chatting process, this comments generating upon the product. So it's a very important thing to reach the interaction between the customer and the company, or between the customer and the brand holders. So in addition to the economical exchange, we have the communication exchange, and this is one of the major importance how marketing is doing its process through our lives. By this we come to the end of our lecture today. I would like you to revise it carefully. I would like you to go through the whole links we had, especially the We campaign. We would like to play campaign link. Waiting for your questions and inquiries through our Facebook group. Until we meet again through our next lecture, stay safe. I wish you the best. Bye bye.